All right, we got to talk Tiger Woods. We got to talk maybe some Twins. Sprinkle in some opening day Gophers versus Mankato last night. But we should start the show here, Pat, by celebrating in the teeth of that San Antonio Spurs defense late in the fourth quarter. Anthony Edwards grinding his way to 49 points. What a performance!
It was
Best performance of his career.
He was shooting a three better than I've seen him in weeks, but
Yeah.
the idea that we had to put him back in the game to try to get 50 and then see if we could piss away the game was pretty amazing. It was, I don't know. I'm a big defender of the NBA. I love the NBA in the totality, but they do some idiotic things. And to be that, what difference does it make if you get 46 or 50 when you're winning? It's a good night, right?
Well, how do you think Pop has felt now? Because the Wolves got Towns to 60 the last time these two teams played.
By the way, there's a very good chance you're going to have a one and done with Towns with Pop, right? If you lose to the Clippers, which is distinctly possible, the way they still gave up 120 some last night. They're obviously better.
I'll bet you the Clippers are like a 1-point favorite in that game when the odds come out.
At Target Center, you think they will be? Yeah, it'll probably be close to pick them. But if you lose that one, then you're going to have to play San Antonio, and Pop will have them ready to play better than they did last night. So I don't know why you got to know that deep in his craw, putting a guy back in the game so he can get 50 when you're going to win the game by 12 is probably going to stick with a guy, and he can get a message to his team. Now, they aren't very good talent-wise. The Timberwolves are way better than they are. But you know what else? You got no D'Lo last night, and the way you're better last night with McLaughlin and Noel to get more minutes. But yeah, it was silly, and it's people who love to rip the NBA, that just gives them more ammunition to have Edwards out there trying to get 50 and taking silly early in the clock shots. So they were a missed free throw away from getting to be able to throw in a three and tie the game at the buzzer after being down 12 with 1:05 to go. It was.
I saw one of I can't remember who, but one of the Timberwolves bloggers referred to it as, I wasn't in love with the Timberwolves playing with their food at the end of the night, but ultimately they did clean their plate.
Well, I was following Johnny K on Twitter, and even Johnny K was down on him on doing something that silly. So, but what are you going to do? It's the NBA, and there are egos involved, including that kid. It's just, for them, it's just nice that he's got his game back, but because there was about a 6-week stretch there where he wasn't very good. He was banged up a little bit, but he was just, there was no dynamic quality to his game there for about 6 weeks.
Well, and obviously, when he goes off for 30, this is the most points he's ever scored, but a lot of it's predicated on him hitting 5 or 6 or 7 3-pointers. But I'm always more impressed. When you take away the threes last night, he was 10 for 14 on 2-point shots last night. And when he figures out, which it comes and goes throughout the season, it's like you can get anywhere you want on the court with the way that you're built and how athletic you are. When he locks in and gets to the rim like that, gets to the free throw line 14 times, that's when he's at his best to me.
Yes, I do agree with you, because I keep bringing up this quote from my friend Terry Kudsey, Mr. Basketball. Every time he shoots, I think he's going to miss. He doesn't, not last night, but he doesn't have that. He's not that pure shooter, that you say, that'll probably go in. That step back three he made, what was it, the end of the third quarter with the guy with his arm up above his face. That's the best shot I ever saw. That's the best 3-pointer I've ever seen him make. And then you knew he was really warm. But he's holding the ball, even that point, for the last 10 seconds of the third quarter. He's out there holding the ball, and you're going, go get a basket. And then he throws in this impossible three, and he looks like a genius. But I don't know. They have not, they used their talent to win last night, but they haven't been playing very bright basketball lately, I don't think. think. Ever since they had that run against rotten teams that they could just do anything they wanted to, they were awful the other night. And defensively, it was a joke. It cost them a chance to finish sixth. Letting who the hell was that?
Washington.
Washington score all the points they wanted. Washington then turned around, got beat by 20 by somebody. So anyway, they're very erratic. And Cat was back to the pouty cat last night too, wasn't he? He's got one tee, tried to get about 3.
Yeah, he was upset. Yeah.
How many tee? What's he at for the technicals now? Is he's because they have a threshold. Before you start.
He's getting fined. Yeah, he's getting fined.
Well, it was a flagrant 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a flagrant 1. I don't think because they reviewed it, and to be honest, I still think that they played the review. I was at the game, and to me it looked like the guy still sold it pretty well. Like I don't think he kicked him below the belt.
He's got a reputation though. I think referees are looking out for Cat, kind of the flailing stuff that he does. Unfortunately,
well, after he had the big argument with him, did you see the next time down the court he got absolutely mugged and they didn't call it?
Yeah,
they just let him get beat up. That's what they do in the NBA. The officials take revenge. That's there's no objectivity after you irritate them. So
Gopher hockey. Gophers, Patrick, did you watch it?
Yeah, most of it. I was shocked, man. I really everybody was talking like Mankato had them from the first period. Well, the Gophers didn't get a shot the first 10 minutes, but it was neither. Mankato wasn't exactly buzzing the net either. And then they got that beautiful goal and make it 1-0. And, you could go into the second period, you think the Gophers are going to win, don't you? And then, boom, man alive. It was just like that thing last year when they got beat 4-0 and suffocated them. They ended up with 21 shots, but not,
They weren't shown on the screen. I'm not quite sure. The coverage was not exactly up to snuff.
I got to tell you, I can't stand listening to Bucci and his partners. I can't stand it.
Why is Melrose there?
I don't know.
That's a good question. Has he watched any college hockey this season?
But Bucci, God love Bucci. His constant fawning over everybody that plays a shift and this is his chance to do hockey, so he's going to drool, and he does it with every player. Now, to me, when you praise everything, then when you actually have something that deserves praise, it loses all its impact because you've been drooling the whole game about everybody who skates up and down the ice without falling down.
It's Collinsworth now. It's the same thing. Everyone's the greatest, so you basically tune him out.
But I'm really happy for. I'm sad for Motzko, and I really thought the Gophers looked great last week against Western Michigan, and that was the team we'd see last night. But it's a great story for Mankato too, because Mike Hastings rebuilt that program. Built it, didn't rebuild it, built it.
Yeah.
And then the first 5 times he took them to the tournament, they lost. A couple of times they were underdogs, but they also had some excruciating losses. And last year, they're playing as a number 1 seed, right, Judd? And Quinnipiac, they got Quinnipiac by about 3 goals, and they end up getting caught. I don't know if it was overtime, but they had to score late to beat Quinnipiac. Otherwise, it would have been 6 years in a row. And then that team made it to the Frozen Four by then beating the hell out of the Gophers the next game. And last night, I was really surprised at that, though, because this Mankato team most of the year didn't have the same firepower that it's had the previous 2 years. They have that Nathan Smith, but look where they got their goals from last night, too. Like 3rd line, 4th line, some defenseman who hadn't scored since November 13th or something and had 3 goals all year. Gopher fans, of course, are complaining because Mankato's 1.2 years older per man than they are.
Oh, God.
Well, they also have 14 NHL draft choices compared to 2. So, what do you want? What you want is the Gophers to have their selection of all the great high school and 1-year junior superstars. And then you want Mankato to try to beat them with those leftovers instead of be more creative and get some Europeans and Canadians and put the team together.
The Gophers are Kentucky basketball.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Now Moscow's done a really good job. Now, the one good thing about last night is maybe this Knies isn't going to get signed by Toronto. Maybe they're going to keep him here with the Gophers for another year. I thought the way he was playing and being in the Olympics that he might get signed. But I think it's Toronto, right, Judd, that has him?
Yeah, Toronto has
Toronto, and they obviously don't need, they got the kid with 56 goals. They don't, they might not sign him. And then if he comes back, he'll be a great player. But it's it was a shock to me. I thought the Gophers were going to beat him, but boy, once it got going, they just suffocated him.
Yeah. Pat, Tiger Woods shot under par in his first round back from almost dying in a car accident a year and a half ago.
Most amazing thing. Well, maybe one of his most amazing rounds. I wouldn't say it's his most amazing, but certainly physically it is. But what's most amazing is he hits his T-ball on 18 into the deep, dark jungle over there. Yeah. I've seen that. There's creatures in there. It's dark, man, and it's you could get eaten by a bear down in there. But when he hit it in there, I said, this man has had more good fortune on the golf course than anybody ever. And when he goes in there, he'll have a shot. It'll be a hard shot, but he'll have a look. 92% of every other players would have been behind a tree, but he hits one of the worst shots ever. Just a top screaming line drive into the woods.
It was a 190-yard drive.
I know. Yeah,
that's what I drive.
It was brutal, and he ends up making par. And then he said, "Okay, the magic is still here." Yeah. Now, God love them all this afternoon. The great defense of Augusta is wind, and when they shoot these incredibly low scores, it's because they don't get wind right down there in amen corner and down in the, the wind howls through those areas. Could hit 40 miles an hour this afternoon.
Wow.
They said late this afternoon. It's going to be windy all day, but then it's going to start howling.
So these guys, he's one of the last tee times. So these guys who are teeing off late in the day
could be in big trouble. Yeah. And that's always the tradition there is the wind blows late. You want to be there in the morning. It's calm. But when the wind blows late, sometimes it's 8 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. It's not 40. I'm always reminded of when he was on his streak. The one British Open I covered was I think had he won his 4 in a row there before 2002 British Open. Was he on the?
He had already won the Tiger Slam before 2002.
Yeah, but the first day. He was in it. The second day, everybody who played in the afternoon got caught in this storm, and there they keep playing. And there was a hole there, a par 3 hole, that they went from hitting 6 or 7 irons to drivers because it was into the wind. It was like 190 yards, and they hit all they had, and he shot 40, or that knocked him out of it because he got caught out in the storm on Saturday. And on Friday, and then that he didn't win. That was the one that I think that was the one Ernie won in a 14 playoff. But the guys who came out in the morning ended up like in tall clover, and the guys who played in the afternoon maybe that was on Saturday. But one of those days, I know the last 2 guys that made the cut on Friday, Appleby and the hell was his other name? They played as a twosome on a beautiful Saturday morning at Muirfield, and then they went drinking because they just figured they were absolutely out of it. The next day they were like the second to last group off the tee because everybody played in the afternoon, shot 81, and Tiger got caught in that one. And I don't know if that'll happen today. You could. They made a good point on TV though when he hit that ball in the deep dark jungle. That he's not getting full force on his left foot, and you can see him wince like hell. But it's certainly added to the legend, didn't it? To go out and shoot 71.
Yes. Yeah.
Incredible.
He said he was in as much pain as he thought he would be in, but it was amazing, is what he said. So. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Declan looked like the genius of all time until Cameron Smith played 18. And,
you cursed me
and made, huh?
You threw the bad luck back on me. We praised him, and then the moment he melted down.
Yes, he did. He made, he hits it. And the one thing I appreciated him was he gave us a good profanity right off the tee.
That was great. I know.
He hit it in the woods.
Oh,
S-bomb. S-bomb right off the tee. But that's the jungle that they usually hit it in. You don't see nearly as many over where Tiger.
I mean, Pat, he had 8 birdies on the day, and he's 4 under because he bookends it with 2 double bogeys.
1 and he double bogeyed 18.
Yeah.
But he played great. Yeah. So it'll be a mess today. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he likely will.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a fun sports weekend. This is going to be
baseball opener today. What do you think of the Twins trade, fellas?
Yeah, we I don't know, collectively we kind of like it. Now the biggest thing is the elbow, the partially torn UCL that Chris Paddock had late last year, and he had some sort of injection.
He took an injection earlier this month. I think earlier in March he took another injection for it.
Yeah.
The other thing is they gave the Padres $6.6 million. They basically paid Taylor Rogers' salary.
Yeah, the cheap Polads couldn't. It's an extra $700,000. It's an extra $700,000 just to pay the whole freight for Taylor Rogers, and they couldn't pony up.
No, our guys wanted the trade. I mean, obviously, Falvey and the administration decided they wouldn't sign. They couldn't sign Rogers, and they are excited about having 3 years of control with Paddock. I was reading some stuff on him. He's a very volatile young man. He gets very fired up, I guess, and so it'll be.
Rocco will handle that perfectly. Don't worry about that one.
Well, didn't you a couple of weeks, like a month ago, figure this team would have so much starting pitching they'd have to go have a 6-man rotation to start the season?
I kept saying this team pitching rich. That's what
7-man. Judd said 7-man rotation. Where there's too many guys.
Yeah, the Grinder could be in there too. The rookie. Let's pitch 7.
Dobnak's
going to come back at some point.
No, he's on the 60-day. Thank God he won't. Hey, Pat. The best part of the Rocco. The best part of the Rocco press conference 2 days ago was you disgustedly saying and trying not to pass judgment on the fact that they're going to start the season with 16 pitchers.
I just said 16 pitchers. That's all I said.
Yes, I know.
He said I didn't put a question mark on it. I tried to let him know that I wanted to vomit, but I didn't. I didn't say it.
He didn't pick up. Did he not pick up on the vibe, or what was?
He picked up on it.
He picked up on it, but he said, 16 pitchers, and they're going to have to. They got a month of this nonsense, and then they got to get rid of 3 guys, and you can only have 13.
I mean, last night Shohei Ohtani had 9 strikeouts through 4 2/3, just absolutely lights out, and I get it. He gets to 80 pitches, and Joe Madden comes out, and
but hey, the San Diego last night against the lowly Diamondbacks take a 2-0 lead into the 9th. No Taylor he didn't warm him up. I don't know if he didn't make it yet, or they didn't want to use him because he got into town late or something. But the first guy they tried. I was watching it. The first guy they tried was some guy they just signed from Japan, Suarez, who'd been over there, throws 100. He walked the ballpark. He walked everybody. But in the second to the last, not the next hitter, but the hitter after that was a left-handed hitter. So I thought you'd get Rogers there, but he didn't. They didn't. They brought in.
Did you see who hit the walk-off?
Yes.
Greatest baseball name in history.
Seth Beer on National Beer Day.
Yep.
Yesterday was National Beer Day, and Seth Beer.
I celebrated.
We know.
I'll tell you that right now. I celebrated it hard.
I kept looking in the box in the lineup yesterday, earlier in the day, saying, is this a typo or is the guy's name really Beer?
It is
Beer.
Seth Beer, just hitting bombs.
Times of game. There was 1 3.5, but I might have to confess on the thing on the wrist.
Yeah,
They are getting their signal a lot faster.
So not every team's using it,
Not everyone,
but
no.
some were for sure last night.
Most of them, Houston wasn't, but Houston's not because they didn't think of it, I suppose. They didn't invent it, so they don't want to do it yet. But the teams that were doing it, I mean, they say that you're getting the signal. The catcher's sending you the signal right before you get back up on the mound. You will know what the pitch is. Maybe not the location, but you'll know the pitch.
I love it. Think about how much time that saves. So ordinarily you have to you walk around. So if during your pacing around the mound you can know what pitch you're about to throw.
I didn't see anyone with it yesterday who was using it. I watched a lot of baseball that shook anybody off either.
I watched going to sleep last night. I watched some of the Angels Astros game, and one of I think it was the Astros. Shockingly, no, I'm sorry, it was the Angels.
Angels were using
the Angels were using it.
Yeah.
The
Astros were not. I read that Astros are not yet because
they've got another system.
They got to refine it. Yes, sir.
Now, are the pitches coming from the dugout at times to the catcher, or is the catcher in these cases always calling the pitch?
I don't know if the dugout has one of these things. Do they?
So the pitcher has, what is it? Does the pitcher have an earpiece in, or is it like?
Yeah, it's inside the hat, not an earpiece. It's inside the hat.
So maybe the catcher can have one inside his helmet, and then someone from the dugout can hit a button and tells him what pitch, and then someone from the front office could send a note to someone in the dugout, and then
the Atlantic analytic department is.
These would seem pretty easy to hack, though, right? Like if maybe that's the next thing, right? You're the Astros, and you got some hacker nerd.
Maybe that's why they haven't started.
Fastball down the middle. All right.
Yeah, right. But I wouldn't say it did reduce the time of a guy sitting down there and staring in. I did say that. So
that's interesting.
My original reaction was, how do we blame the catcher for being stupid now with putting signals down? But he's doing this, So, what I'd do if I was the Twins today? Catch Gary Sanchez and give him some confidence that you think he can catch.
I wouldn't pair him with Sonny Gray, though.
Don't pair him with Sonny Gray.
Apparently, that was a train wreck in
Ryan's
New York.
pitching today, so Gray's pitching tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Would work. It could be Sonny Gray could be too many breaking balls too, but somebody who maybe throws more fastballs like Joe Ryan, and I'd tell Gary, you're my guy. Let's go here. Come on.
Okay.
And also get Louis Arise in a lineup. Okay, Louis Arise has got to be your regular DH if you want him to be. If somehow he's got to play every game, left field, third base, somewhere. He's got to play 140 games.
Yeah, he'll play 6 positions. He'll play 135 games or something.
I thought they said that the outfield was out now for him. I thought that they basically told him to
with a 3-man bench. With a 3-man bench. He's the backup catcher now for him.
He's still the 5th outfielder, right? Yeah. Behind Garlick.
Yeah, and they've called up Celestine. They think they're going to get Upton.
Oh, it looks like we have a lineup. It looks like we have a lineup here.
Oh, look at that. Breaking news.
All right, Byron Buxton. He's playing in center field.
Yes, good.
Carlos Correa.
1 game.
Jorge Polanco are your 1 through 3.
Who, by the way, saved all his hits for the regular season. He batted 12 in Florida.
Gio Urshela at third. Miguel Sano at first. Wow. Alex Kirilloff in left. Gary is scary at DH. Ryan Jeffers in center, Max Kepler in right.
Jeffers at catcher.
What did I say? Center?
You said center.
Oh, no, Buxton's catching. No, I'm just kidding. Jeffers at catcher.
Must be a lefty pitching. Oh, who's pitching for us?
Robbie Ray is pitching today.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, my dream has been shattered.
No rise already. Game 1, you and Rocco on the outs. That didn't take long.
I can start ripping them already. All right.
All right, Pat. Happy opening day. Happy Masters weekend. We'll see you.
I hope the Twins get a magical victory today.
Just like the Gophers' magical run.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
See you, Pat. Wrapping with Reusse, presented by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company today. They've been keeping the lights on here as we discuss Minnesota sports on SKOR North for the last 3 years. And you can find them out at federatedinsurance.com. Find out how they can help your business get to the next level. Risk management tools, resources, people. Federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours.